Welcome back to United USA 2020 and beyond. So as we all know by now, January 6th in Washington, D.C., a lot happened out there. I got some pictures here of people that broke in Capitol Hill. You can see some tussle scuffles going on with Capitol Police. Doesn't look like there was nearly enough police, but I guess there was, so it doesn't justify the actions of a few bad apples off the tree that spoiler for everyone. Could have been military personnel and more enforcement, more protection. So what do we got here? BuzzFeed shows 29 pictures that shows what domestic terrorism looks like in the United States. Yeah, okay, well, I'm just going to show you a few pictures. Well, number 2, they had ladders. Okay. Number 7, windows were smashed. One of the protesters was spewing tear gas. Take a closer look. It's a fire extinguisher, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently somebody had a sledgehammer. All right, moving on. Trash on statues. Yep, that sounds like domestic terrorism. So they're calling these people domestic terrorists. Okay, well, wasn't it interesting in Portland when people were setting fire to buildings and looting? Well, they weren't calling them domestic terrorists then. Mainstream, like CNN fake news. Remember when Trump was vowing to designate Antifa a terrorist group? Well, the Department of Justice officially called that highly problematic. Oh, boy. And, well, Biden now has said he's got plans to priority of passing a law against domestic terrorism, and he has been urged to create a White House post overseeing the fight against the ideologically inspired violent extremists and increasing funding to combat them. Let me tell y'all why this is so dangerous. Because from here forward, anyone who is caught up in some of this BS, say you're going out to peacefully protest and say this stuff starts happening right here, well, guess what? Now, all of a sudden, potentially, you could have a domestic terrorism charge, federal charges, and for what? Being in a peaceful protest that somehow turned violent, and then you're accused and you're guilty before you're proven innocent? Doesn't that contradict the Constitution? So, what about when everything was going on out there in Chaz in Seattle, and they took over a police department? Portland, Seattle, what was going on in Minnesota, Chicago? I mean, the list goes on and on. So why wasn't the government and the media calling that domestic terrorism? Obviously, the media is biased. SMH. Take a look at this. You can see when they were burning stuff down. I mean, come on now. Is this worse than laying trash on statues? Think of all the people that these fires and riots and looting put so many businesses out of work, and employees and business owners that work their ass off. 40 million people out of work. Let's never forget wasn't bad enough. It's a total double standard. And the hypocrisy why information and knowledge is power, especially when you apply it. Be sure to like and share and get the word out there. Thanks for tuning in. United we stand, divided we fall. Let's all stay focused on what's important. And remember, knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is power. Knowledge plus action equals power. Share it worldwide.